Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back. Run it up, then run it back.
Close up.
Yo, happy Tuesday. Welcome to Run It Back, coming at you from New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm Michelle. We got Chandler, we got Lou Will, guys, yesterday, by the way. Oh, and friend of show, one of our favorites, actually, GG Jackson will be on a little bit later.
Mr. Lou.
I'm going to give you guys an idea of, on this end, how big yesterday was. For 3 hours on Radio Row in New Orleans, Louisiana for Super Bowl week, we did NBA, and we took NBA calls, and it was pretty awesome. So I'm wondering what the reactions were for you guys, because I know, Chandler, the Mark Cuban stuff was kind of a big deal. So how was yesterday for you?
Yeah, I think still, like, everywhere I went yesterday, it's crazy. People were just asking, like, my opinion on it and how'd this happen and what's the tea on LUKA. Like, basically, it's why did they do that? Like as if we had inside information. But people are still stunned. People are still talking about. I saw the guy ask, like, one of the first questions to Pat Mahomes was about the LUKA trade, not the Super Bowl coming up. So that's how you know it's a big deal.
Yep. Lou, what'd you think? I mean, it feels like a year ago. Yesterday was so long. What'd you think about it?
You know how the world works. I spent all day in group chats arguing back and forth between who won the trade and this and that. Just a lot of guy talk, a lot of bar talk, barbershop vibes. You know, it was it. I'm just excited to see both of these guys get on the floor with their respective teams and see what they build out.
God, I think we all are. It's going to be, I want to warn everyone, that first, maybe even first 2 games is going to feel real weird, especially for LUKA in another uniform. We've seen AD in a couple, but LUKA's going to look weird. So just be ready. That's my warning to the world. But we do have other news. It was not that long ago when the Golden State Warriors said, we are not waving the white flag. Well, no, they apparently are not. Behind the scenes, it's being reported that they have contacted the Lakers for maybe a trade for LeBron James. But that's not all, folks. Shams Charania also reporting they're desperate. And they've reached out basically to every single star in the NBA, including a possible reunion with Kevin Durant, maybe a Paul George. You guys, I think everyone sort of agrees that the Lakers are not winning a title as currently constructed. So I don't know. If we're thinking about Warriors and LeBron James, and I have seen this a few times now that it is possible, could a LeBron, Draymond, Steph trio do something this season, Lou?
I don't think so. Listen, the Warriors are having their struggles. The Lakers are having their ups and downs in this season. You put these guys together, you're looking at a combined age of, what, 100, 110 years old? Like
1,000.
You know, as legacy acts that they are, that they're going to go down as Hall of Famers. They're going to be iconic guys when it's all said and done. But to see them together at this stage in their careers, I don't know if this gets them over the hump unless they put a lot of young, exciting energy around these guys, and you put them in a position where they can play a controlled style of basketball. I don't know if this works with just the way that these guys are playing, like I said, especially at the place that they are in their careers. And also, like Beadle just said it, the Warriors are calling everybody. Now we don't know who's up.
Yeah, nobody's. It's 2 a.m. at the bar.
Yeah, nobody's off limits now.
They said it out. You up Texas to everyone.
Nobody is off limits. So if I'm the Golden State Warriors, if I can watch Luka Doncic get traded to Anthony Davis, it's like, well, who else is unhappy? I'd like to know, because we're in the market for a superstar. So who's available?
I think if anything, yesterday it kind of put everyone on notice, right? Nobody's safe. Everyone's available. If I'm a GM, if I'm a front office staff member, I'm calling the Nuggets and kind of halfway kidding and being like,
wow.
Put a package together for the Joker.
What's it take for Jokic? What does it take for Anthony Edwards? Because clearly everyone's available outside of WEMBY. I think there's nothing that can get WEMBY out of San Antonio.
Fair.
But
Yeah.
I was racking my brain on this. It's not like Golden State's in the business of jersey sales or getting guys involved, tickets. They don't need a LeBron James. And as good as LeBron and Draymond and Steph's Hall of Fame careers, they're at the end. They're towards the end of their career, so this trade doesn't really make sense. What are they willing to give up to bring in a LeBron James? Are they really going to give up their future? A Podziemski, a Kuminga, Moody, some of these kind of cornerstone pieces moving forward, post Steph and Draymond. To me, it doesn't really make sense. Now, if you can get your hands on a guy like Giannis, who that's the one that makes the most. That's the one that makes the most sense to me. And especially when you throw a Kuminga in there for Milwaukee, kind of the same development that they would go through with Giannis as they would with Kuminga. But again, I think everyone's just kind of closing their eyes and swinging for the fences here.
And you know what? If you're LeBron, and it takes you 20 years to get traded, like, well done, bro. Like, well done. If you get traded in year 21 and for the first time in your career, that's going to be crazy. And also, you got to look at the flip side of it. In LeBron James Inc., we started this season with Bronny James and him playing with his son. It looked like he's having the best time of his career competing alongside his son and having that experience with him. So any trades like this, unless they're done in the dark without anybody knowing, like the trade that we just saw.
Which is possible.
Yeah, I don't even see this even being a plausible thing.
And again, LeBron, he's balling right now. Like, he is going. He's playing at an elite level, but how long is that going to last? How many years more is he going to play? We don't know the answer to that, right? So what are you willing to give up to even acquire a LeBron James? And if you're LeBron James at this point, don't you just want a championship? Don't you want to go somewhere there's going to Golden State, no matter who they give up, it doesn't put them in contention, in my opinion. So I think this would be a lateral move. I think it would be interesting, and it would break the internet, and it'd be something. God. And again, and I'm not gonna. I would like to see a KD reunion before a LeBron James trade.
Well, yeah. Didn't we talk about that too? Like, wouldn't it be kind of cool if KD went back now and because everyone was so angry when he went the first time, but if he went back now, would that change?
If I want
KD
to go back anywhere, I'd want him to go back to OKC, but then he would.
I would love that.
But then, can you imagine the ring-chasing comments that he would get? And
yeah, you can't do it.
Get for doing that. But I would rather see him go back there and what they'd be willing to give up than to go to Golden State. But look, the idea of Steph and LeBron playing on the same team in the last couple of years, it's cool. It's awesome. I just don't know if it moves the needle to me.
Absolutely.
It's very, I mean, the Olympics were fun to watch. If KD goes anywhere, I'd like him to go back to Seattle. If we're going to go as far as all of this, that's what I'd like to see.
Seattle would like anybody to come back at this point.
Let's get him a team
for
sure.
We need the NBA back in Seattle. Well, okay, let's talk a little bit about KD, right? Because there's a report from Jake Fisher that the Suns are not planning on trading Kevin Durant. No offense, we don't believe anybody anymore, but they are listening to other teams' pitches. More reports coming out saying they have zero intention of trading him, but Chris Mannix is saying that the Suns are, quote, seriously considering Kevin Durant trades before the deadline. So what I just said there was two completely different things, and that's where we are right now in NBA trade talk. Look, if you are the Suns, Chandler, do you, and look, you should listen to everything, and everything has changed over the last 3 days. It's all up for grabs. But if you're the Suns, what would it take? Like, are you seriously considering this move?
Yeah, I think you're listening to everything. And again, just going back to yesterday's trade, that kind of shocked everybody. Every team is on notice. Every player is on notice. Everybody should be listening, especially the Phoenix Suns. This team was built to win a championship now. This big three was constructed to win now, and they have it. And they've been pretty healthy for the most part. They've had a little bit of banged-up injuries with Beal and KD, and they bring in the point guard, Tyus Jones. They bring in Monte Morris. They've had the issues at center with Nurkic and him butting heads with Coach. So I do think they listen, and again, I don't know the options here. I just said OKC, that'd be fun. I don't know why OKC what they'd give up. San Antonio would be another one. Do they get off of Keldon Johnson, or they get off one of those other young core guys to bring in a Kevin Durant to really try and win now? Houston, they have the pieces, they have the depth, they have a lot of assets that other teams would want. So again, there's a lot of options there, but also, why not just stay? Like, let's move off Brad. Let's move off Brad Beal.
But you have to listen. You have to listen, though.
Oh, you're listening.
Yeah,
sure.
the landscape has changed, right? Like, you don't know what's going on out there. So Matt Ishbia has already said the ownership of the Phoenix Suns, he's here to stay. But now with everything, hey, it's the Wild West now. We got to listen to all offers. We might land some young guys or another superstar guy that may put us in a position that we're not already in. And so, do you trade Kevin Durant? Absolutely not. You don't trade Kevin Durant. But again, as ownership, with the way things are going and how the landscape is changing, you listen to everything that comes your way.
100%.
You know what, Lou? When the trade happened the other night, they had that sound from Kevin Durant in the locker room, and you could almost see his brain processing, like, "Holy crap! They just traded LUKA." And his face sort of changed from shock to, "My God, I guess we're all up for grabs," kind of vibes.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Now that this is all out there, if you're Kevin Durant, do you really start thinking like they could actually trade me, or do you think deep down he's like, nah, they're not going to?
I don't think he thinks he's gonna get traded, but like I said, what's off the table at this point now? Like, who's off limits? Nobody is off limits now. So if he's gonna go anywhere, I love the idea of a Golden State reunion. right? I think it makes sense. You may unload one of your young guys. You already know that this is going to work. But I'm going to make the same argument for LeBron James. These guys are in the fourth quarter of their careers. You know, these guys are 35, 36 years old at this point. Can these older veteran guys really compete for another championship together at this stage in their career? It remains to be seen. So that'll be a scenario that I could see working. Obviously we don't see it happening. We're just playing fantasy basketball at this point with throwing these things around. But if there's a fit for them, I like their. Other than that, I don't see a lot of scenarios. But I didn't think that we even be discussing a possible trade scenario for Kevin Durant anyway.
Yeah, and look, it's Kevin Durant, right? Like, he can fit on any team. Any team would love to have Kevin Durant. The way he can score the basketball, how productive and how efficient he still is at this point of his career. I think it's just about what you're willing to give up. So you have to look at these teams where they have a lot of young assets. They have a lot of pieces that you can get back something in return to make the future look brighter. Now, when I saw this team in Phoenix get constructed, I was a believer. We were both believers. I was like, okay, absolutely. Phoenix is for real. Man, they added the point guards. They're
Don't
deep.
Look now.
They get a Royce O'Neal. Like, they have Grayson out. Like, they have so many pieces where, on paper, this team should be so much better. And Kevin Durant is still so elite that any team would be lucky to get him. I wish they'd find a way for this to work, but now we're in our second season of it, and it isn't, and it hasn't.
Do you think they would move Kuminga for a Kevin Durant?
Yeah.
It'll get the people going.
Yeah, I think they would. I would.
People will talk it. They're 24 and 22 in the 9th spot right now. Again, this LUKA thing has changed the entire way we speak of the NBA, because it used to be like, that's stupid. Don't even talk about trading that guy. He's not touchable. And now we're like, sure, I don't see why not. By the way, Chandler, kudos on your sweatshirt right now against that Phoenix Suns backdrop. It's popping. It's like, you're really like, coordinate.
Thanks.
What?
Yeah,
oh,
that's the second compliment I've gotten.
Well, that's too many, if you ask me.
And it's only 7-Eleven. Sky's the limit today for this thing.
You're off to a great start today, Chandler.
All right, let's get to some hoops. There were some games last night. Believe it or not, there are actually games still being played. TRAE Young, this is stupid. That's all I'm going to say. This is stupid. Fadeaway hits the shot over Malik Beasley. It is a game winner, in case you were wondering. Chandler, what's degree of difficulty?
Yeah,
that's about a 10 out of 10, Michelle. That is a step back right for a righty, which is way harder than going left. With the defense, that's great defense. Oh, and then the hard stomping on it.
The AI tribute. We love the AI tribute.
Just silent the crowd. Do what you do, TRAE Young. And listen, this dude, you pissed him off. He said it's called getting traded, not getting snubbed now. So I expect him to be on an absolute mission, and knowing him, he's upset, he's bothered, and he is going to prove every single night, look, I am an all-star, I deserve to be there, I want to be talked about with these other great guards, and this year he should be, and for whatever reason he's not. I almost hope there's an injury so he can almost get into all-star game, because he deserves to be there the way he's played. And again, that sounded bad. I'm not trying to I'm trying to wish injury upon people. I just think TRAE Young, he's also a show pony, man. Like I think he would be unbelievable in the game. He will play hard. He's must-watch TV. He deserves to be in the All-Star game, so I hope he's on this revenge tour.
What is a show pony?
Like, he's on the big stage. The best is gonna come out. He's gonna do stuff
question.
like this.
I literally did know.
He's a performer.
Genuine question.
He's a performer this week. MSG, bright lights are on. TRAE Young is at his best.
I love it. I love it. You asked about the difficulty of this shot. It may be difficult for us.
Yeah.
But for TRAE Young, that was a walk in the park, but I love it. He's taken his assist bag, thrown it in the back seat of the car, and said, y'all must have forgot I can go out here and really score the basketball and go out here and get buckets. I love this. I love TRAE with a chip on his shoulder. I hate the fact that this has become part of the conversation of TRAE, that he always has to play with a chip on his shoulder. I want him to be celebrated and respected the way that he deserves to be. He should be an all-star guy, but it's made for TV basketball when he's doing things like this with the big, that's a meme right there, by the way. TRAE is going meme on us, by the way, but I love the big steps. I love the AI tribute, and I love the way he's going about business, man. Keep it rolling.
And by the way, great defense, better offense. I think it was Beasley. He couldn't do much more.
So because we love a good revenge tour, just for the sake of what he has done the last 2 games, and he's had 34 points in back-to-backs, but the games are against the Pacers, Pascal Siakam made the team, and last night was against the Pistons. Cade Cunningham made the team. So yeah, if you love reading into this as much as we do, this is 100% a revenge tour, and I'm here for it. Trae Young, you have our attention. We did have another game last night, Rockets and Knicks. This is a fun one, you guys. The Knicks, and really Jalen Brunson, willing his team past the Rockets, 124-118. He finished this thing with 42 points, 10 assists. It's his 18th 40-point game with New York. Amen Thompson with 25, 11, and 11 assists. His third career double. He's coming up strong. But there's a tie with Carmelo Anthony last night for third most 40-point games, and Brunson broke it. That's in franchise history. Better Knicks player, Lou. I'm making you do it. Is it Jalen Brunson or Carmelo Anthony?
Can't we just embrace both of them?
Nope.
Why are we doing this?
Everything's a contest.
Listen, we've made him the greatest Knick of all time already. We've compared him to Willis Reed, to Patrick Ewing, and now we're comparing him to Carmelo Anthony. Jalen Brunson will go down as a New York Knicks legend. Let him cook. Let him build. This is, what is this, season 2, 3? What year is this? This is the third season, right? This is the third season.
Third one.
Carmelo Anthony averaged upwards of 20 points for 7 straight seasons with the New York Knicks, and they went on some great runs. He's still building out his body of work with the New York Knicks. Let's let him cook. So if I'm gonna pick one of these guys for the sake of the question, give me Carmelo Anthony, because I saw that book. I read it already. It said that Carmelo Anthony averaged almost 22 points a game in 7 straight seasons with the New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson is yet to do that. Is he trending that way? Is he on his way? Absolutely. But let him build. Let him cook. Let's see what his legacy is going to be after that. Let's say he does have another
goes to the
great
finals.
Yeah, goes to the finals, puts them in a great position to win. It also can go left, where this can be the best that we see. Knock on wood. I don't want to put that out there, but allow him to build his legacy out. We got to stop comparing him to all of these Knicks greats. Just enjoying for what he's doing right now.
Pick one.
I did. I said Carmelo.
You hummed and hawed. Like,
I don't really want to.
That's how I am, Beadle. But we got to stop comparing him to so many Knicks greats. Just add him to the conversation instead of putting him ahead of it.
I'll tell you this. I don't want to pick right now, but it will be Jalen Brunson.
No, hold on. I just got booed for not picking, and you're not going to pick? No chance.
Because it's, again, like you said, you got to let this marinate. He's only been there 3 seasons. I will say this. Jokic is loved in Denver. John Morant's loved in Memphis. I don't know if there's a city that's a player that's more beloved by a city or a franchise than Jalen Brunson in New York. Like, everything he's done in such a quick amount of time, as passionate as they are at the Garden and in New York, this guy, he has them. He's the king of New York, and as big as the Yankees and the Jets, it's his city. It is great. And I think for him to start clipping all these older legend Knick players, he's got to win big. And they have a chance right now this season where I think they have a great opportunity. Obviously, the Celtics are still the top dog. The Cavs have had a hell of a year. But the New York Knicks are continuing to get better. They play on both sides of the ball. And just watching this game last night, man, it's unbelievable. He is such a good closer for them. He gets to his spots. You can't guard him with a taller guy. You can't guard him with a smaller guy. He can do it all. So he is beloved. So again, it's silly to compare the two or to rank the two, but he's got to play a lot longer. It's only been 3 seasons compared to Melo's, however long he was there. So, but it's crazy how much love and respect he has so quickly. It's awesome.
Melo, six All-Star appearances in 7 games in New York.
But yeah, he's got some time.
This team is, the vibes are so good, and New Yorkers, they are some long-suffering
sports
fans.
Because it's been a while.
It's fun.
It's been a while, and now he has that energy back. They're excited again back in Madison Square Garden. This team is doing it. But again, like we said, they are still building their legacy out from what type of team that they're going to be as far as history goes, as far as New York Knicks fans go. We know what Carmelo Anthony meant to the New York Knicks. We know what Amari Stoudemire meant. J.R. Smith. All of these guys were household names wearing that New York Knicks uniform. Jalen Brunson is turning into the same thing. Cat is going to be one of those guys. Bridges is going to be one of those guys. But they're still building their legacy out, and we know how legacies work. It can go left very, very fast. Let's allow this thing to pan out.
I want to make sure we give a little love to the Rockets. Obviously, this is a big win for New York. They are no slouches over there on the Houston side. And even though they didn't win this one, can we please take a look at some of the moments from this thing? This is dumb. This is dumb. So my question, Chandler, they become must-see? Their league pass.
floating in the air.
And not to compare, MJ did this back in the day, and people's head exploded with the right to the left. This is insane. This kid Thompson, I don't know, people haven't seen a lot of him.
In and out, has he?
He is going to be so good. He is so athletic. He can do it all. This team is so much fun. And by the way, they hung and battled in this game without Sengun, without Fred, because the plays like this. Jalen Green's an absolute bucket. And this kid Thompson, when he develops his outside shot, he gets more efficient of a jump shooter. They're going to be very, very good. And again, they're deep. They have Tari Eason, Cam Whitmore, Aaron Holiday stepped up huge last night with no Fred in the lineup. So this team's fun to watch. They're one of the best teams to watch. I love watching them. I love watching OKC. If we had to,
that's what I was going to say.
San Antonio is about to be really, really fun to watch. So those three teams, to me, are probably the elites to watch.
I agree with you.
Yeah, there are not a lot of must-see league. Actually, no, there are. I shouldn't say that. There are quite a few teams that on any given night are quite fun to watch, including what we're about to do now, Bucks Thunder. This is a shorthanded Bucks team last night because Dame, Giannis, Brook, Portis, and Middleton, none of those dudes played. What is even the point of life?
Oh, God.
So, yes, OKC did what they're supposed to do. SGA with 34, Yang with 21-8 off the bench. And it's look, you hate to see it, but it's a win and you had to do it. The Mavs adding AD, let me ask you how that affects them when playing specifically OKC, because last season, of course, the Thunder had their issues with the Mavericks 6 games, and one of the weaknesses was the fact that they were a little bit small right there, Lou. So when we're looking ahead come playoff time, what are we making of that matchup?
Well,
now?
LUKA had something to do with that as well. And yeah, so we're not going to pretend like that's not a scenario, but they have a lot of size. They just got to get these guys back healthy. I still like OKC against a lot of teams. Now, that does change the way that they approach games. Now, Dallas has been a thorn in their side as far as them moving on in the playoffs and them trying to get over that hump from being a young team to being an actual respected team in the Western Conference. We're yet to see this Dallas Mavericks team play with Anthony Davis. We don't know what it looks like. We don't know what that build-out of a team is going to look like, but what we do know is OKC is still rolling. They're still playing great basketball. If you're a confident young team like they are, it doesn't matter what teams that you put in front of them. I still give them the edge until we see what Dallas can put together. But right now, if I'm OKC, I'm not really threatened by this because he's still in the Western Conference. We still had to deal with him when he was with the Lakers. Obviously, this is a different scenario, but I'm the #1 team. I'm the best team. I'm not looking back and being scared or worried about anybody else. I'm pushing forward.
Yeah, and I think when you're any team in the West this year, you're looking at Oklahoma City as that's the team you got to go through, right? That's the top dog. Although they're young and experienced, that's the best team in the Western Conference. So I do think Dallas is looking at that. I think Denver's looking at that. I think these young teams like Houston and Memphis, they're looking at, we got to get through Oklahoma City, just as the other teams in the East are looking at the Boston Celtics. Now, Dallas did beat them 2 times this year without LUKA, which is interesting. So
yeah.
I think you add Anthony Davis, you add more defense, you add more size to now match up with Chet and Hartenstein, which they countered with. It could be a hell of a finals. Now look, there's some other teams in the Western Conference that are knocking around the door as well. So like Lou said, these are completely 2 different teams now. You take LUKA off the team, the way they play is going to be different. You put Anthony Davis in there, the 2-man game with him and Kyrie, how are they going to run their offensive sets? What are they going to look like? They're going to play fast, they're going to play slow. We have to wait and see, but I do think the Mavs in the back of their mind kind of thought, okay, maybe this gives us a better chance against the Thunder. I think that definitely crossed their mind when they did make this move, but again, we have to wait and see. They haven't played a game together yet.
All the strategies in effect. Yesterday, Giannis, like everybody, was reacting to the LUKA trade and jokingly said, although was it jokingly, that he'd like to see all of the European players in some big-ass markets. Now that LUKA's in LA, maybe Jokic in New York. If the Bucks don't win a title, or even if they're not even sniffing a title this season, and I said last year I thought Giannis would ultimately end up in New York, Chandler, but do you think there's a world in which we see him in a bigger market?
Yeah, I do. But we also said this like a month ago when they were struggling before they won the NBA Cup. So I also think Giannis is silly and he says things like this and he's halfway kidding and he's very sarcastic in his personality. So I would not take this very seriously. But I think that window is closing in Milwaukee. And I think when you build a team like that and you bring in a Dame Lillard, you don't reach the peak with that team. And Chris Middleton's on his way down. Lopez is on his way down. So this team is a bunch of older guys. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a change. And again, there's so many up-and-coming teams where you throw a Giannis on there, it really moves the needle. So yeah, I think it would be interesting. Again, the Warriors, you hear that all the time, but what's their window looking like with no Draymond and Steph in the next 3? You know, so it's interesting. But yeah, I don't think Giannis finishes his career as a Buck, but we'll see. I mean, it's too early to tell.
It's really setting us up for that Europe versus USA or international USA All-Star game, and I like this.
Let's just do it.
People are thinking. People are thinking. That's what we want. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to attempt to draft our individual All-Star teams. Good luck to us. This is Run It Back.
You know what?
Run it back, yeah. Run it up, run it back.
Look, I don't want to overhype this game tonight, but we got a big one. It's the Celtics, it's the Cavs. It's kind of crazy that Cleveland has 40 wins already, but it's the 1 and 2 teams, obviously, out in the East.
Wow.
5 total All-Stars in this game for your enjoyment. Cavs are 5.5 games up on Boston right now. Lou, a regular season game like this, how big is it? Because it's these two.
It doesn't matter much, but I'll be honest. The one thing I do like about this matchup is you got two very prideful teams. So as much as they're going to downplay, if this thing gets real in the third and fourth quarter, they're going to use each other as measuring sticks. You know, Boston is going to try to prove that they're the big brother. Cleveland is going to try to prove that they're the up and coming, and we're going to give you a real heart. We're going to give you a real heart attack when the playoffs come. So I wouldn't overhype this matchup right now, but I do like the fact that these are two very prideful teams.
Can I tell you why this is a big game? It's a big game because they are 5.5 games back, right? And you know how big these head-to-head games are in these matchups.
They can gain a game.
When it comes down to seedings at the end of the season. So it's huge. Whoever gets that #1 seed in the second round, and again, we're looking ahead here, gets the 4th seed, which is probably going to be in Indiana or a Milwaukee or a Miami or something like that. That is a much more lenient, like easier matchup. Not that it's going to be easy, but than the New York Knicks. So I think you want that #1 seed if you are the Cleveland, and you want the #1 seed if you were Boston. So this is a huge game, and for the point that you can just chug a game off that and get back to 4.5. And again, there's so much basketball to be played. It's going to play itself out, but I think the Celtics, if they're looking big picture, they want that #1 seed. You want home court advantage, and you do not want to have to play the Knicks to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. That is going to be a dogfight of a series.
I agree, but when have we ever seen a team walk down the #1 seed 5.5 games back? We've never seen a team walk that one of those type of leads down. So would they love to get to that #1 seed? Sure, but the way the Cleveland Cavaliers are playing, they're not going to get it. So they're pretty much settled into, this is the 1 spot, this is the 2 spot. Now, don't get me wrong by any stretch of the imagination. They're going to take a chance, and they're going to do that. So maybe it is I agree with you with that, Chandler. This may be a big game as far as trying to gain a game, but 5.5 is a lot to make up.
And you know what? It looks like everyone's in besides Dean Wade on Cleveland. So it looks like we are going to get full strength.
We might get a good one.
We're gonna have a great game tonight.
I was wrong. This is a big game. I'm in.
And you know what?
I'm in.
I hate to do this to Georgia Niang and my Cleveland Cavs. I like Boston. I like Boston +2.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think they're chasing the top dog. I like Boston. They have something to prove. They are still the team to beat. I like Boston tonight.
I'm gonna go with the team that hadn't lost double-digit games this year yet. You know, they're rolling. Like you said,
that's crazy.
They're 40-9 with a 5.5 game lead. I don't think they let up now.
I'm not picking. I just don't think that's for us.
Oh, now you want to make us pick.
No, actually, you know what? I think Boston wins this one. I do too. It's weird, and I can't tell you why. It's just the vibes that I'm feeling. We're going to take a very quick break because when we come back, our favorite. Hate to say it, but he's our favorite.
Is he in the bathroom again?
Yeah, where is he going to do this?
Where is he? He's somewhere.
Running back.
GG Jackson. We never fail. We never run. GG. 4-3. We never quit. Gotta love some GG Jackson.
Oh, he's back. Yay!
There he is.
Back. By the way, you know I'm a professional, GG, and this is how much I like you. You guys kind of put the beat down on the Spurs last night, but I'm going to be cool with that. And we're going to get through that. And you had a windmill dunk. That's fine. Can we talk about Saturday night? Because I'm so curious where everybody was when they heard. It's wee hours of the night. The news comes out officially that LUKA Doncic has been traded to the Lakers, no less. So where were you? Did you hear about Saturday, or was it not till Sunday?
Yes, no, I was still up. Actually, I was watching this show on Netflix called Scavenger's Reign. Definitely recommend. But
all right, I'm gonna write that down.
I was in the group call with all my homies, and then one of them yelled it out, and we all, we let off a chuckle, like, like stop playing and all that. Then he sent the link, and so naturally we like, oh dang, like Shams got hacked. And then like 3 minutes later, when Bleacher Report and ESPN posted it, like I'm out the bed, and it's like I'm supposed to be knocked out getting my rest for the game tomorrow, but I couldn't go to sleep for like another 2 hours after that though.
I think it's funny that everyone's reaction was Shams got hacked, and then immediately just sort of trying to we're all confirming it on our own. Like as far as the team goes, does it sort of make the reality seem different now? The fact that a guy like LUKA can be traded. Are you guys now looking around the room, oh, I don't know, at Ja and thinking, are they going to trade Ja Morant at some point?
I don't know. I feel like it's a level of professionalism.
Yeah,
professionalism.
Got you.
And not to say, oh, we saw LUKA or we know some insider stuff, but you never know. But I feel like that is taken into account. Because attitude gets you farther than skill and all those things, and I feel like Ja, he's always on time to things. He shows up, he puts in the work, and him and our coach Taylor Jenkins, they have a very, very close relationship. Kind of like almost like a yin and yang. Really, they really can coach each other about what they see on the floor and stuff like that. So I don't really think we got to worry about that just yet. So.
Yeah, hold up. Is there something about LUKA you need to tell us? Like, do we not know something?
Oh, nah. If I did, I don't know if it would be all right for me to say something, but all I remember was just seeing him hold that beer can after they won the conference finals, and the Sister GM took it or something or the owner took it or something like that. And I was like, ugh.
That was Michael Finley.
Yeah.
That was a big one. That was a moment, a meme, if you want. But does it matter to you that it's to the Lakers? Like, does that add to the story? Does it feel like really LA again with the superstar?
I don't know. I don't even know if this trade was really necessary, to be honest.
Okay.
Like, for Lakers fans, they should be a little frustrated because now tickets are gonna be like expensive. So.
Oh no, they expensive regardless. Yeah. It's all good. No. They expensive regardless.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like guys like Bronny James. I feel like he can learn some things from LUKA already having his pops being the GOAT, but just having probably the best player in the league. Right there in his face every day. I know Jay-Z and Gorman, when he was in Dallas, another South Carolina cat, he had, Kyrie and LUKA, and he's learned a bunch of things, and he's killing down there in the G League, still waiting on his opportunity. So I feel like Bronny can learn some things from this.
Yeah, Gigi, since we last spoke, you have now made your return from that broken foot that kept you out the first 42 games of the season. How are we feeling? Are we fully healthy, fully back to 100%?
Far as the body feeling good and getting out there and moving around, yes, we're back. But it's been a lot of mental lapses. When you're not playing the way that you previously played or how you can play, kind of can bother you a little bit just from a competitor standpoint. But my dad sent me a scripture, and I can't remember the first 8 words, Lord forgive me, but it ends with before honor comes humility. And my dad just told me, just keep waiting on your opportunity, your shot and stuff not falling now, but just keep defending how you're defending and rebounding. Ultimately, your rhythm is just gonna fall in your lap. So
I'll tell you this: as someone that's been hurt, dude, it takes time. It takes game. You can't simulate, practice to a real game. So shots are gonna fall. You're gonna get your legs back. You did say that you've added 20 pounds of muscle. So are we gonna see? Are you the new enforcer out on Beale Street? Are you gonna start just bogarting people on the post? Does that change your game at all?
I mean, first game back, coach was yelling. He was calling me Jaren 3 times in a row. So I don't know. He's already pretty huge, and he be putting his shoulder into people. But On my drive, it's a kind of a little bit easier. If I get somebody on the closeout, it's a lot easier to get by them on that first dribble, because they know I'm not trying to avoid them no more. I'm actually trying to kind of go through you, but now I feel like it's just a matter of controlling it. Being able to keep my balance and stuff, so I can see QB12s and I was get back on my pivots and stuff, because now I feel like I can be a little out of control on my drives. So if I can, just find my balance, everything would be good.
GG, first things first, I got a WEMBY question for you, but I want to know where you got that LRG hoodie from, because you too young to know what LRG is, dog. You ain't gonna get me. Where you get this LRG hoodie from?
My man's, Lord, he gonna kill me for not remembering his name, but Jay Crowder's man's. We saw them in Sacramento, and I got to connect with Jay Crowder, and his homie was there. He was like, send me an address, send you a
little light-skinned guy? Little light-skinned, chubby guy a little bit?
Not dark skin with waves.
Okay.
Way off.
All right. Way off.
Way off, Lou.
Hey, GG, I wanna ask you, last night was your third time playing against WEMBY. He had 27 and 10, but you guys went away with the win. Has he improved every single time you've seen him play so far? He just keep adding to his bag.
I feel like he has. Naturally, people still gonna be like, bruh, stop meat riding and all that. Like, he's catching it, fading over 4 dudes at the same time. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, he's catching at the 3-point line, no drip. Like, I don't know what you want me to do, bruh. But and I feel like he's gotten bigger. I feel like he knows how to use his body a little bit more. On certain inbounds plays, if he'll, how if they can't find any quick ones, they'll just throw it to the big and like come off for a handoff. He's taking that one dribble at the rim, or like one dribble getting fouled. So I feel like he's improved, and even just from an outside view, just watching the entire season, he's just been phenomenal. Yeah. So.
I mean, you matched him with a season high 27. Was it any, and a bunch of highlights, by the way. Was it any trash talk in that game? Does he talk trash?
Nah, he'll say like little quick words here and there, like an F-bomb or dang it, really
okay.
hard.
Look, that gets Beadle. That gets Beadle going. Beadle didn't even know he cursed. Beadle thought he goes to choir in church.
I know, but F-bomb to dang it is like, those are two different words.
Dang it.
I fell on his shoulder going after a loose ball, and guys like soccer players try to get a little bit extra time. They rolling all over the ground and stuff. So I'm trying to walk by like get your ass, get up, bro, stop all that playing. And now I walked past him. He was like, oh no, you gave me a good back crack, and then came and hit like a 40-foot three. I was like, wow, like wow.
It's kind of dumb. All right, Sunday played against the Bucks, and last time you were on, you talked about Giannis pinching you during a game. So I got to ask, is this moment here a little bit of a revenge moment? You had a block on him at the rim, by the way, and are there words said after a moment like that?
I waited to turn around when Desmond Bane dapped me up to say, get that out of here, because I didn't want to say it directly to his face, because I don't know if anybody knows, when Giannis is making that face, sometimes he's growling, like when he makes that, his mugshot face. So he's got a full head of steam. They already, we've been beating them for the past year and stuff. So I'm like, I can't really say nothing just yet. So I was holding myself down because I really wanted to, walk up on him and give him the little.
That's what you're supposed. That's what you're supposed to do, GG. You young enough to do it. You gotta earn your stripes, dog. You gotta earn your stripes, dog. Don't you listen? Pops is doing an amazing job with you, by the way. But you ain't gotta be that humble, all right? You ain't got to be that humility, man. Not that much.
Thanasis is running full speed so that happens. So I gotta worry about two of these Greek dudes, man.
Just out of nowhere.
Hey, you do look kind of swole in that jersey too, Gigi. I see the 20 pounds.
Hey, GG, don't worry about that, bro. You got some guys in your locker room that'll back you up, man. We gonna keep the Nasties at bay. We gonna keep them at bay.
By the way, the pinching thing we're done with, right? Because I'm about to get to another weird moment involving your team. So no more pinches. That's weird to begin with.
I really wasn't killing them.
Oh my God.
This game how I was last year, but like on my on my box out, he tried like to grab my entire forearm. Naturally, he's a vet, so they not gonna call it on him. But he ain't get to pinch me. I told him, I said, if you pinch me this game, I might, you know what I'm saying, like try to elbow you in the rib or something.
Now that's when you might have to deal with the Nasties if you do that.
I just want to see the video. Make this happen. Can we talk about this moment last week? Because it was obviously all over the internet as well. Playing the Rockets right here. Van Vliet with a little sweat wipe. By the way, that's disgusting. I draw the line here. Do you notice it in real time when that happens, or are you sort of seeing it as we are? Or how's this work? By the way, that's nasty. What'd you think?
Yeah, that's very unsanitary. I
That's
don't know what he was doing there, but I didn't see that actually. What the world?
Okay, run it again, because we all were watching it like 6 times going, why would anyone do something like that?
And these vets got all type of tricks and stuff up there.
Nah, that ain't no trick.
I've never seen
that's a
this.
one-off. That's
I've
a Fred
seen like
Van Fleet thing. That
untying
ain't no trick
someone,
right there. That ain't
untying
it.
someone's shoe or untucking their shirt. I've never seen that.
Yeah, that's a new one.
No one has? No one's seen the sweat wipe?
Nah, that's innovative right there, because that would for sure would have threw me off. If I was shooting free throws, that'd have messed up.
Did he make both? Did he make both the free throws?
I think he did. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if my mental toughness is there.
Wouldn't you want to like, hey ref, let me see the ball? You know, get a touch, put it on the ball or something. But I don't.
It's very
I don't know.
It's all mental, because that would have messed me up.
During this play, I think I was talking to Jay Huff, and we was just both like, bro, like Jaren is like unstoppable. So I ain't even get to see that.
It's hilarious.
Okay, well then that's good to know, because that's all happening, and then we're digesting it like, can we talk Scottie Pippen Jr. for one sweet second? Obviously, his dad, senior, played with MJ. You get any stories out of him about sort of crazy MJ days? Has he shared?
I try every now and then, but he'll just tell us just about like funny moments when he was a kid and all that. I don't have any off the top of my head. But we hit Scotty with it, I'm pimping, what I'm saying? Every time we see Scotty and stuff. But good question. I'm finna see if I can get some stories
all
out
right.
of him.
That's homework for next time.
By the way,
Yeah,
Scotty
we'll
Sr. gave us all last week. I don't know if you saw all the stuff he was saying last week, but my God, he let it all rip. Let's talk the state of the team, Gigi. Last season, you guys finished 27-55, third worst in the West. Now, that was obviously due to injuries. This season, you're second in the West at 34-16. What are the vibes like? How confident are you guys when you look around the Western Conference that you guys are going to be there at the end?
I feel like we're still kind of got that hard mentality how Memphis has developed over these past, I want to say, like 5 years with the Morant, Bane, and Jaren initiative. But it's a level of a balance of humility, I would say, because I feel like we're not popping it as much because we know the West is just going to keep getting more difficult as the years go on, in my opinion. But everybody's been on the same page. We understand that we're a pretty loaded team, and some guys may be in and out of the rotation just depending on how everybody else is playing. But I feel like we have 2 starting lineups on our roster. So.
And obviously the trade deadline is a few days away. When you guys are sitting there in the locker room and you're talking about how deep you are and how talented you guys are, do you guys fully believe that you have enough to to win an NBA championship this year, or do you expect a couple moves here by Thursday?
Anything can happen, so I'm not even gonna exclude that. But hopefully not as bad. But we feel like we can win out with our head of the snake. With Ja Morant, he I feel like we got the best point guard in the league. That's just me.
Nice.
And then the way Jaren's been playing, it's just how bad we want it, in my opinion. Now I feel we got the pieces. It's just gonna be how bad we want it. Anytime we play really physical teams, like the Rockets for such, we can find ourselves having a more difficult time. But luckily we got a lot of more games to fix that problem right before playoffs start.
GG, the Jimmy Butler stuff, we're all aware now. He wanted to be traded. He's wanted to be traded for a minute now. But when he first started coming out, the only team he said he didn't want to be traded to immediately was Memphis. Does that hurt your feelings?
Not really, because I feel like we all know the reason why. Like here in Memphis, we just walk outside and drive around for a little bit. No shade, Memphis, no shade. But, him coming from a city like Miami, I feel like, just the lifestyle that Jimmy Butler lives. I don't know. I don't think it's like a really out there lifestyle, but I feel like he's bougie, so.
Okay, bougie. I think that covers it. Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I'm from Black Haven. I'm from Memphis, so I get exactly what you said.
Memphis is dope. Memphis is dope.
Yeah.
Chandler, shut up. You're already on the record.
GG, really quick, because of injuries, you and Ja hadn't been on the court together, until last month? What is it like playing with Ja as y'all continue to build your relationship and your rapport on the floor?
I'm not gonna lie, he helps boost my confidence. As my shooting coach AC or our assistant Jason March, he is a coach out there on the floor. Not only just directing guys like me, but our younger guys, JALEN, Zach, even Scotty when they're paired out there on the floor together. But he doesn't have a problem with giving the ball up and letting you go get a bucket. Now that doesn't mean tween step back spin move into a mid range or something. But like if you got the quick three, he's all for those shots. So me and him, I've got to play with him in a couple pickup runs. But he was a little mad at me when I missed that lob. But we SC boys. I knew he was gonna get another one later down in the game. So I just had to just get back into the swing of it.
GG, we love having you on. We look forward to the next one. Keep it up and thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, GG.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Oh, wait, you might. Oh.
Running back.
Guys, I thought this was kind of interesting. Danny Ainge is known for some pretty good manipulating of the system and getting trades done. But it turns out in this one, because we didn't even mention the Utah Jazz, it was technically a 3-team trade. He was a little shocked to find out that he had helped facilitate LUKA Doncic to the Lakers. Anybody shocked by that, Chandler? It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know if this has ever happened, right? Like, how do you not see the full trade? How does the NBA not now find this out and veto the trade, like the trade back in the day? Like, I don't understand how you can be a 3-team trade, but the third team doesn't know about the other two situations. So
I don't know.
It's hard to believe he got duped. It's hard to believe like he didn't see the whole trade. But yeah, this is super interesting. The fact that it was still allowed to go through, especially after the trade back in the day with the Lakers was shut down. So
yeah,
super weird.
Yeah, Lou, what do you think?
It is weird. I don't know the ins and outs of how trades work or how much information that you have to disclose, but I gotta imagine that he's a little upset that he kind of got fleeced a little bit with this. So
he probably figured it out when no one mentioned the Jazz in this trade at all.
How about the kid getting traded to Utah too? No one's even talked about him. Jalen Hood.
There it is.
Imagine being part of a trade.
Run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back, run it up, and run it back.